Hey guys, Blast here, and I'm back with another video. So today we're doing something a whole lot different. So a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you guys have gotten to know me through my iceberg videos. Specifically when I talk about metal music. I've done one on Metallica, which is horrible. Do not watch it if you haven't watched it. It's terrible. It's so cringe. I missed half of the entries. I was like 18 when I made it. It was my first attempt at an iceberg, and it was my first video on this channel. And then after that, I took like a 2-year break to start uploading seriously. So it's just really bad. I strongly do not recommend watching the Metallica one. But I can't unlist it because it keeps pulling in views. So hopefully, even though they get a bad taste from Metallica, hopefully they enjoy the Megadeth one, which was a lot better, and I got most of my facts right in that one. So my Metallica one is my most viewed video, and I'm really disappointed in it because it's not good. The Megadeth one was pretty good. I put a lot of decent humor in it. The people who did watch it really liked it. And then my Iron Maiden one sucked. It was good, but nobody watched it. Like, nobody watched it. Then I made a Slayer one, which I think I put a lot of effort into, but still nobody watched that one either. So Metallica is just a big name, and a lot of people that, like I said, that follow me or are subscribed. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. I'm sorry. They like it when I talk about metal music, and I promised a while back that I would start talking about metal music again. I even said that now, instead of just video games, I would do heavier stuff, just like metal music. So instead of lying to myself, let's actually talk about metal music. So today, I wanted to do a different type of video. I analyze characters and put them into Dead by Daylight. I analyze and critique things that are important to me, which are video games. Well, today I want to analyze albums that are important to me. So we're going to go all the way back, talk about Kill 'Em All. We're going to talk about their music, their impact. I will be specifically analyzing their lyrics, but I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm basically going to be talking about every song, and then I'll probably rank them at the end of how I feel about them. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Metallica's first album, Kill 'Em All, has a long and interesting history that shows how a young, ambitious band changed heavy music forever. In the early 1980s, Metallica was just a group of teenagers in LA who loved fast, aggressive metal and wanted to play louder and harder than anybody else. They moved to San Francisco after connecting with bassist Cliff Burton, whose powerful playing became a big part of their sound. See, at the time, Metallica didn't have a record deal, so they built their reputation through raw demos, such as No Life Till Leather, and non-stop live shows in the growing underground thrash scene. So, the album was originally supposed to be called Metal Up Your Ass, but the record label refused because it was too offensive, so the band jokingly changed it to Kill 'Em All, reflecting their frustrated attitude. They recorded the album quickly in New York in 1983 with little money, and they just focused on the speed and intensity of what they were trying to polish. When it was released, the music industry didn't know what to do with it. The songs were too fast, too heavy, and too aggressive for radio, but the fans seemed to love it because it felt real and rebellious. Tracks like Seek and Destroy, Whiplash, Hit the Lights, and The Four Horsemen helped define the thrash metal genre and showed the world a new kind of metal that mixed punk speed with classic heavy riffs. Over time, Kill 'Em All became known as one of the most important debut albums in metal history, marking the moment Metallica went from a group of unknown kids to pioneers who changed the direction of heavy music forever. Hit the Lights is the explosive opening track of Kill 'Em All, and it works almost like Metallica kicking the door in and shouting, "Here we are!" With the first line being No Life Till Leather, tells you you're in for a wild ride, and it introduces you into the metal lifestyle, basically, with the leather jackets and etc. The song is fast, noisy, and full of this youthful, angry energy, capturing exactly what the band was about in their early days. It was raw excitement and speed of being on stage. It was actually one of the first songs James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich ever wrote together, so it carries that early spark of their chemistry. The lyrics aren't complicated, they're just about the rush of performing live, turning on the stage lights, hit the lights, and letting the adrenaline take over of them starting to play. So musically, it's packed with frantic guitar riffs, wild solos, the pounding drums at the beginning of the song, which Lars kind of struggles to keep up with, and James's sharp, almost shouted vocals, sounding like a bat out of hell, which gives it a gritty garage band feel. The whole track sounds like a band trying to play as fast as humanly possible and loving every second of it, making it a perfect introduction to Metallica's early thrash sound and the fearless attitude that defined their first album. The Four Horsemen is one of the standout tracks on Kill 'Em All because it shows Metallica taking a step back beyond pure speed and starting to add more depth and more complex songwriting. Originally, it was written as a much faster song called Mechanics, back when Dave Mustaine was still in the band as the lead guitarist, but it was reworked after he left. James, Lars, and the rest slowed it down, expanded the structure, added new riffs, and turned it into something heavier and more dramatic. Instead of talking about, sex analogy or metaphors with car parts, it talks about the biblical Four Horsemen. The use of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse create a sense of looming danger, giving the track a darker, just more mythic and just cooler feel compared to the album's simpler party energy songs such as Hit the Lights or Jump in the Fire. Musically, it mixes fast thrash sections with slower grooving parts, showing early signs of the dynamic shifts Metallica would later become famous for. The dual guitar harmonies, driving rhythm, and powerful mid-song breakdown makes it feel bigger and more epic than most of the album. It's truly a standout. The Four Horsemen is a moment where Metallica's creativity jumped forward. They weren't just a furious young band, a group of ambitious teenagers. They were musicians capable of making memorable, story-driven metal that hinted at the evolution that they would go through in the years to come. Motor Breath is one of the purest bursts of energy on Kill 'Em All, capturing the reckless, fast-living attitude of young Metallica in just a couple of minutes. It's one of James Hetfield's earliest songs, written before the band even had their full lineup, and it carries that raw punk influence that helped shape early thrash metal. The lyrics are straightforward and bold, all about living life at full speed, not slowing down for anyone, and chasing excitement, no matter the cost. Basically the mindset of a group of teenagers dedicated to heavy music and adrenaline. Sounds familiar. Musically, it's quick, punchy, and relentless, with galloping guitar riffs and tight drumming that keep the song charging forward without any tricks or long solos. Motor Breath stands out because it shows Metallica's ability to be both aggressive and catchy at the same time. It's simple, loud, and energetic in the best way possible. Even though it's one of the shortest and most straightforward tracks on the album, it perfectly represents the early thrash sound. No breaks, no compromise, just pure momentum from start to finish. Jump in the Fire is one of the more straightforward, groove-driven tracks on Kill 'Em All, and it shows a different side of early Metallica. One that's still aggressive, but also a bit more playful and riff-focused. Honestly, I catch myself dancing to the song more than just headbanging. The song originally came from the band's early days with Dave Mustaine, and you could hear that classic heavy metal influence in its catchy, almost swaggering main riff. Unlike the non-stop speed of some other tracks, Jump in the Fire rides a steady, powerful rhythm that feels more like traditional metal crossed with thrash attitude. The lyrics, which were changed by James Hetfield from Mustaine's original version, lean into a tongue-in-cheek, almost devilish theme about temptation and giving into your darker urges, but they're delivered with more fun than menace. In my personal opinion, when I listen to the song, it really does remind me of, what doesn't remind me, but it makes me think of being in the mosh pit, jumping in the fire, getting hurt, going crazy with other people. That's what I think of when I hear Jump in the Fire, but of course, it does sound more like he's describing some kind of fun take of hell. Musically, the song is built on chunky guitar work, a strong beat, and a memorable sing-along chorus that shows Metallica could write hooks, even when they were young and rough around the edges. Overall, Jump in the Fire adds variety to the album by slowing things down a bit, and it's just enough to let the riff shine, giving the record a heavier, more classic feel, while still keeping the raw energy that defines Kill 'Em All. Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth is the moment on Kill 'Em All where Metallica steps back from the chaos and gives the spotlight completely to bassist Cliff Burton. Shows just how unique and talented he was even at such a young age. Instead of being a traditional metal song, it's basically a wild, distorted bass solo that sounds almost like a lead guitar, thanks to Cliff's use of effects, fast fingerwork, and creative techniques. The track starts soft and eerie, then quickly builds into a storm of heavy, almost otherworldly sounds that were shocking for metal at the time. No one had ever heard a bassist play like this. Even though it's all bass, it still fits the album's raw energy because Cliff plays with the same intensity and speed as the rest of the band. Partway through, drummer Lars Ulrich joins in to drive the rhythm forward, turning the solo into a full-blown jam. The piece works like a showcase of Cliff's personality, experimental, fearless, and deeply musical. But in simple terms, Pulling Teeth is the track that proved Metallica wasn't just a fast young band, but one filled with real talent, and helped establish Cliff Burton as one of the most influential metal bassists of all time. Whiplash is one of the fastest, most intense songs on Kill 'Em All, and it feels like Metallica's mission statement as a young thrash band, which is play hard, play fast. The track is basically a celebration of headbanging, whiplash, give yourself whiplash. Headbanging, so it's a celebration of headbanging, live shows, and the wild, almost dangerous energy of being in the middle of a packed metal crowd. Mosh pitting almost. The lyrics talk about losing control, moving so hard your neck hurts, and feeling the power of loud music taking over. Simple ideas, but delivered with real excitement. Musically, Whiplash is all about speed, rapid fire drums, lightning quick fire guitar riffs, and James Hetfield shouting the words with pure adrenaline in his voice. It's one of the songs that helped define thrash metal because it punched the tempo to extremes, while also still keeping a tight rhythm and a memorable hook. I mean, you can't really forget Whiplash! Phantom Lord is a classic early Metallica track that mixes their love of speed with a darker, more fantasy-inspired atmosphere, again similar to the Four Horsemen, giving Kill 'Em All one of its most dramatic moments. The song builds on a theme the band often embraced in their early days: powerful and almost mystic imagery. They pull from different things, which I'm not too sure where they get their inspiration from, but what it reminds me of is stuff from Dungeons and Dragons and works from H.P. Lovecraft. I'm not too sure where they get the Phantom Lord from either those two inspirations or maybe from something else, but the lyrics itself, it feels like a battle cry, talking about an unstoppable force, aka the Phantom Lord, leading chaos and destruction, which fits the youthful, rebellious style Metallica had before they shifted into deeper social themes on later albums. Musically, the song stands out because it moves through different moods. It starts fast and aggressive, then it slows down for a heavier, more melodic middle section, which reminds me of a later Metallica song in Master of Puppets. But after the slower stuff, it jumps back into the high-speed thrash. That slower breakdown gives the song an epic feel, showing Metallica experimenting with structure instead of just blasting through at one tempo. The riffs are sharp and driving, the solos are wild, and James Hetfield's early rough-edged vocals add that gritty underground metal vibe. Phantom Lord feels like Metallica stretching their creative muscles, mixing atmosphere, their melody, their dark lyrics, and their pure speed to create a track that hints at the more complex songwriting the band would develop in the future. No Remorse is one of the heavier, more battle-minded tracks on Kill 'Em All, and it shows Metallica blending their love of speed with a tougher, more driving groove. The song's lyrics focus on the brutal, unstoppable nature of war, told in simple, forceful words. War without end. And it matches the album's raw style perfectly. It isn't about taking sides or making a statement, it's about capturing the cold, relentless feel of conflict. Just death and kill and war and zero mercy. Musically, No Remorse stands out because it shifts between mid-tempo, hard-hitting riffs and bursts of fast thrash, almost like switching between marching and charging. That contrast gives the track more weight and makes the faster sections hit even harder. The riffs are chunky and memorable, the solos tear through with youthful fire, and James Hetfield delivers the vocals with a gritty toughness that fits the theme perfectly, especially when he yells attack and the song speeds up at the end. No Remorse feels like a more mature moment on the album. It's still aggressive and loud, but it has a sense of structure and heaviness that shows Metallica was already thinking beyond pure speed and starting to shape the powerful sound they'd become known for. This song is amazing because not only did Cannibal Corpse do a cover for it, which I think is pretty good, I honestly think this song, No Remorse, is the main inspiration for the main Doom track. In the original Doom, 1993, of course. A lot of people say it reminds them of the Four Horsemen or some other songs that aren't from Metallica, but I honestly think it's No Remorse. It just sounds like almost like similar, but it could be. It honestly could be Four Horsemen. But then I also heard people compare the Doom track to Master of Puppets, so that's completely up to you on what you think. I believe No Remorse. You could say something else. Let me know in the comments below if you think the Doom soundtrack sounds like a certain song. Seek and Destroy is one of the most iconic and catchiest tracks on Kill 'Em All, and it captures the heart of early Metallica with its heavy, stalking-styled riff and its simple, rebellious energy. Unlike the album's fastest songs, this one moves at a steady, powerful pace that makes it feel bigger and more anthemic. Like a battle that's waiting to happen. The dun 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 dun. It's just slow, and it's like you're stalking your prey, basically. The lyrics are straightforward and gritty, describing the hunt for chaos, danger, and release, reflecting the band's young, hungry attitude toward life, music, and the live show experience. It's not literally about violence, which, I don't know, you can still believe it if you want, but in my opinion, it's more about chasing that electrifying feeling of intensity and freedom that comes with the loud and fast metal, just the genre as a whole. It just feels more freeing than other genres. Musically, the song is built around one of Metallica's most memorable riffs, with sharp guitar lines, a strong beat, and a chorus that crowds instantly latch onto. The solos are fiery but controlled, showing the band's early confidence, and James Hetfield's raw vocals, as usual, just being perfect and capturing that underground edge. Seek and Destroy quickly became a fan favorite and has stayed in Metallica's live set for decades because it perfectly blends heaviness, attitude, and catchiness. Plus, it helps that it's in Metallica. Plus it helps that it's in Fortnite, so. Metallica closes Kill 'Em All with Metal Militia, a final blast of pure, high-speed chaos, perfectly wrapping up the album's raw, youthful energy. It's one of the fastest and most aggressive tracks Metallica had written at that time, and it plays like a rallying cry for the early metal underground, a celebration of loud music, wild crowds, and the rebellious spirit of thrash. It basically lures the listeners in to come and join us, join our metal militia, join our mosh pitting, our music. It's like a calling to people that are searching for something else in music. It's perfect. The lyrics talk about a militia of metal fans united by noise, adrenaline, and attitude, reflecting how the band saw themselves and their growing community. Outsiders who found strength in heavy music, to reiterate what I said before. Musically, the song never slows down. It's driven by rapid-fire riffs, pounding drums from Lars Ulrich, and a sharp, urgent vocal tone that make it feel like a non-stop sprint from start to finish. It also helps that it includes some of the album's most frantic solos, showing the raw technical skill the band had even in their earliest of days. Metal Militia feels like Metallica planting their flag, standing up, and declaring their arrival in the metal world with pride and aggression. As the album's final track, it leaves listeners with the same message that starts the record. This is Metallica. We're fast, loud, and completely unafraid to push the boundaries of heavy music. In the years after its release, Kill 'Em All grew from a scrappy underground debut into one of the most iconic and influential metal albums ever made, marking the moment thrash metal truly took shape. At first, it didn't explode on the mainstream charts. Metallica, like I said before, were too loud, too fast, and too raw for radio. But word spread quickly through tape trading, live shows, and metal magazines. Fans connected with its honesty, intensity, and youthful rebellion, and soon it became a cult favorite that helped define an entire scene. Critics who initially dismissed it as noisy or reckless later recognized how groundbreaking it really was, praising the band's skill, energy, and new approach to heavy music. Over time, songs like Seek and Destroy, The Four Horsemen, and Whiplash became staples of the genre, and the album's impact grew even bigger as Metallica themselves rose to worldwide fame. Today, Kill 'Em All is celebrated not just as Metallica's starting point, but as a game-changing record that pushed metal into a faster, heavier future and inspired countless bands across generations. Though it wasn't the creator of thrash, I would argue it is the one that popularized thrash. It stands as a timeless reminder of how four young musicians with almost no money but through their endless passion and chemistry, ended up reshaping the sound of metal music forever. So, now I want to take a back seat and just talk about Metallica's importance to me, specifically this album. You see, because I think I explained it in the first iceberg that I made with Metallica. I don't know if I did or not. I don't rewatch the video because it makes me mad every time I watch it. But Metallica isn't a band that I would label as like being in my top 10. However, Metallica is just so powerful and iconic. They're one of the gateway bands that got me into metal, like from the beginning. My mom's a big fan of them, so when she mentioned that to me a while back when One came on the radio, talking about how she liked Metallica, I decided to look more into it because I heard the song Four Horsemen playing in the X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse, and I really, really liked that song. So I would listen to that over and over again, and also I would listen to One. And then I decided to, I think it was around my freshman year, probably, maybe even the year before, my 8th grade year, when I started going back and listening to older Metallica, their first 4 albums specifically. But Four Horsemen is what got me into metal. It helped me discover Iron Maiden. It helped me discover Pantera because of iHeartRadio. I would listen to Metallica on iHeartRadio, and that's what got me to those other bands. And words can't explain how important Metallica is to me. Well, like I said, I don't listen to them often. Well, I listen to them daily. When I'm in the car with my mom, I'll put on some Metallica because, well, it's just a band that everyone can agree on. Even if you don't listen to them regularly, you can at least admire how iconic they are and how powerful they are. Like, even Fortnite knows, and Fortnite added them as a festival artist, which will probably get another band or other metal artist ever in their festival thing, but hey, we got Metallica. Who cares? Because nobody else is like on their level. So, yeah, Kill 'Em All is important to me. Four Horsemen specifically is important to me. However, it's not my favorite song off the album. So let's rank the songs really quick. So at number 10, my least favorite song on the album. Though none of these songs are bad, I do have a least and favorite. The least, number 10 is Motor Breath. Number 9 is Metal Militia. Number 8 is Whiplash. Number 7 is Hit the Lights. Number 6 is Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. Number 5 is Seek and Destroy. Number 4 is Four Horsemen. Number 3 is Jump in the Fire. Number 2 is No Remorse. And number 1 is Phantom Lord. Phantom Lord is my favorite song on this album. So, this was the first episode of... I guess we'll call it episode. I might make this a series. This is my first episode of analyzing my favorite albums. Let me know what you think. Do you like Metallica? Do you like Kill 'Em All? Is it your favorite album from them? Because even though I love this album, it's still not my favorite. I am planning to do more videos like this. If this does well, I'll probably do more. If not, well then I guess goodbye talking about music. So anyway, that's really about it. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Comment whatever you want. Comment, like I said, if you like Metallica, stuff like that. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this or more videos from me. I would greatly appreciate it. Every subscriber is like... it's great. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.